Welcome to the Link Podcast. This is Siege. This is the 9th edition. Today's episode is about fear and opportunity. We also have the great Christian artist Makayla on today to discuss what she has going on, things that she has going on in the future. Thank you for tuning in as always. Buckle up. We have a great episode of the Link Podcast. Again, the 9th edition. Follow us on all our social media sites at The Link ENT LLC. Also, thelinkentllc.com. Fear and Opportunity, Episode 9. Here we go. So I wanted to start the podcast discussing fear. Fear is a hard thing to talk about because a lot of us have it, but we have to be brave. And I'm going to begin by defining it. So the first definition is to be afraid of. Fear is to be afraid of. So to be afraid of something in particular. Or the second definition is a strong, unpleasant feeling caused by being aware of danger or expecting something bad to happen. And I think we'll start and focus on that part. A strong, unpleasant feeling caused by being aware of danger or expecting something bad to happen. Now, expecting something bad to happen, we kind of do that as a society, right? So I have to go to college. If I don't go to college, then something bad is going to happen. I won't, get a job or the job that I want. I won't get the girl that I want or the car that I want because I'm not doing certain things, and specifically starting businesses. Now, that was one of the things that I struggled with, was the fear to even jump out there to start, this podcast or the Link Entertainment in general, because I expected something bad to happen. Well, what if it doesn't work? What if people don't like it? And the fear of failure, really, being afraid of failure. So, a lot of us are afraid of failing. And I don't think we necessarily have to, not be afraid of failing. I think failure is something that is always there. It's always, the other side of success is failure, which is where opportunity comes in, right? So if you fear failure so much that you never try to succeed, you'll never succeed because you never tried. And which brings me to the definition, of opportunity. The definition of opportunity is a greater chance of success. A greater chance of success. If you never try, you have zero chance of success. And I know some of you say, well, I'm depressed. I can't get off the couch, or you have other extenuating circumstances to where you cannot try at the moment. Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of people that I've known have been through similar situations to you. And I have been through some of those situations as well. And I just can say one thing: when it's time to jump, jump. Okay? So don't be afraid of failure. Or if you are afraid of failure, I'm not going to say don't be afraid of it, but face it and seize the greater chance of success. So someone who took fear, grabbed it, and reached for her opportunity is Makayla. Makayla is one of Ohio's own Christian artists. Very proud to say that I met her through my friend Josh Scales. Shout out to Josh Scales. He actually was in one of our episodes, so go back and listen to the older episodes and you can hear us discuss his future and what he has going on. We'll have you on again soon, Josh. We appreciate you and we love you. And without further ado, here's Makayla. All right, everyone, if you're just tuning in, I have Makayla here.
Hello.
So just introduce yourself and tell everyone what you do.
Hi, my name is Makayla. I'm a singer / recording artist, as well as a web and graphic designer.
That's like a bit of a different mix there. How did you come into graphic designing first?
So, as far as like the graphics and the web design and all that, when I was younger, I had way too much free time. So, my mom used to own a flower shop and up in Cleveland, actually. And I had my own little office in the back, and she had her own website because she owned a business, and I always thought that was the coolest thing. So I really wanted to feel special. So I learned I went on different web hosting websites and started creating my own websites. And then that kind of turned into graphic designs because I wanted some cool graphics to put on the websites. And I wanted so badly to start my own business because I wanted to follow in the footsteps of my mother. So I started like a weird business when I was like 11 or 12. I don't even know what it did, but it was called Creative Sparks. No idea what it did, but I had a really cool website. And that's pretty much how I got into the web design and graphic design side.
Okay, and then how did you get into music?
Music, well, I've been singing since I could talk. And ever since even before I could talk, everybody just kind of I think everybody just kind of knew that that was what I was going to do. I don't know how, like they just that was prophesied over me pretty much. Everybody always said, I really feel like she's going to be a singer. And then when I was 6, I was in like first grade. I was in this Christmas play, and my great aunt was my teacher. So I don't know if this was nepotism or not, but she gave me the role of Mary in the Christmas play. And so I got a whole solo to myself and everything. And after that, the pastor of the church, because I went to a Christian school, he happened to be at the school play, and he asked me to come and sing for the church service, for the Friday night candlelight service. And ever since then, I was like, this is what I want to do. I love this. This is my favorite. So since then, I've been, a worship leader in different churches. I've gone around singing at different places. I've recorded, I've been on a song called Dwell with my church that I'm at now. And it was more like a duet. I was also featured on Joshua Skill's song, Chapter 28. And I helped him produce that song and everything. But I've pretty much been doing music for forever. I feel like if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have a purpose.
Yeah. And actually, speaking of Joshua Scales, he spoke really, really highly of you when I went down to visit him. I went and visited him a few months ago. And it's crazy how this worked out because I didn't expect to meet you or be here, but I've heard your music and saw some of your designs through him. So shout out to Joshua Scales. So just to rehash what we just spoke about, how did those two fields come together for you, or do they come together for you?
They kind of can come together because I like to do a lot of my own logos and designs, and I'm going to be super involved in making my album art and everything for my album that's going to be coming out this year. But that's pretty much how I'm kind of fusing those two. I'll probably be the one to make my own website and all of that. Outside of that, I'm actually trying to set up, I have my own advertising agency now. So, what I'm going to do in order to be able to do both at the same time, like if I have to travel or anything, I'm starting to partner with different other web designers and other graphic designers and people that also I believe that are very, very gifted and very talented in what they do. They can more so handle like I like making websites pretty and I like making graphics, and that's what I'd like to focus on. I don't want to have to focus on like the SEO and all of the technical stuff, and I'd rather just push that off on somebody else and delegate and be able to focus on what I want to focus on. And hopefully it'll also free up some more time for me to focus on my music so that I can still do both at the same time and not get burnt out for either one.
Right, and that's awesome. I also heard an interesting thing. Their album coming out this year.
Yes, I'm going down to Nashville. I got signed to a label called Redemption World Records. So in May, on the 12th is when we're leaving, and the 16th is when we'll be heading back home. And then I'll be in the studio from the 13th to the 15th. And so I'll be recording here soon. So I don't have an exact date that the album will be released yet, but I know it will be released this year. So that's exciting.
And when it does come out, you'll have to let us know so we can have the link to show people so they can purchase the album. Keyword underline hashtag bold
Definitely.
capital letters purchase, because we don't give away free things here. So purchase the album. So you'll have to send us that link so we can do that.
Definitely, I will.
Any special people who influenced the album or influenced the career choice in music specifically?
Definitely. I've really looked up to Carrie Job and Kim Walker Smith.
Okay.
I just love their voices. I feel like they're very anointed singers, very good songwriters, as well as wives, even, they've inspired me, in that capacity as well. And I just really have been inspired by their type of music. And When I was a worship leader at other churches, I did a lot of Jesus culture that Kim Walker Smith is with, and a lot of Carrie Job. So like my whole everything, all the songs, all the set list, it was just like all like Jesus culture and Carrie Job.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Now, in terms of the trip to Nashville, are you planning on like doing anything fun there? Any special visits going to Music City down there?
Yeah, I don't have any like an exact itinerary plan because I like to just kind of, do whatever while I'm there and be spontaneous. But I know I'd like to visit one of my cousins down there. So we'll probably do that meetup for dinner or something. And I am super excited about going to White Castle because there's like none around here. And I've been like dying for White Castle. And I know that there's not one far from where we'll be. So I'm super excited about that.
There used to be like 100 down in Dayton where I'm from, and now there's like one.
Yeah,
So,
there used to
so
be
yeah.
one around in this area too. And then as soon as I moved here, because I moved here from Cleveland, as soon as I moved here, they shut it down. I was so upset.
Come on now, White Castle.
I mean, White Castle, and I know in the South too, they have crystals, which is basically like White Castle, but not. And so I'm excited for both of those. I will be stopping at both White Castle and Crystals. That's what I'm excited for. There's also a store, supermarket called Piggly Wiggly's, and I've never been there, but it just sounds cool. So I'm excited to go to the supermarket while I'm
I
there.
do hear a lot about Piggly Wigglies when I travel, but I've never been there. So
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it. I've seen people with shirts with like pigs on it that says for Piggly Wigglies. And I'm really excited to go there. I don't know why. It just sounds really funny.
that's awesome. So moving along here. So the actual episode is about fear and opportunity. Were there ever any points of fear before the opportunity came across?
Oh, all the time. Definitely. I've been doing, especially with the music, like I've been singing since I was, little. And I've been a worship leader, like for actual adult Sunday services since I was 9 years old. Um, and so, with being in very adult positions at such a young age, I've definitely had several moments of like, I wasn't really trained, I had to deal with like other people and like organizing a team from a young age. And, when stuff would go awry, there's definitely times where I was like, this is not what I'm cut out to do. Like, I'm not meant to do this. There's been people, there's always negative people that'll also say stuff as well. And I take things personally sometimes. So I was like, maybe they're right. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe this isn't a very good career choice. Because I've been told a lot too by people where they're like, yeah, but music isn't like a smart career choice. Maybe you should like finish college and like just focus on like you're good at the graphics, you can do that. Like, but that's not what I feel like. That, I love doing the web design and the graphic design and everything, but like music and singing, that's been like my main thing that I've always really wanted to do. And what's really got me through all of the dark times when I was like ready to quit and not want to do anything anymore, it was very helpful to have my mom and my husband both. They were very supportive and they, really spoke into me and they reminded me of, who I am and, what I'm meant to do. And they're very just encouraging. Like they're without them, I probably would have given up a long time ago. So it's been very, very nice to have a good support system in place. And I've been trying to surround myself more with people like them who will encourage me and help me and pick me up when I fall, and just remind me, this is what your purpose is. This is what you're meant to be doing. So that's what's gotten me through a lot of bad situations.
Yeah. And what about the opportunity part? Like, is there any point in time where you said, okay, now specifically, I guess with the record label, like, aha, this is it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It was one of those things where it's like, I kept doing this and I was at a point actually before the record label had actually reached out to me. I was like, I haven't had many opportunities in a while, and things were going very wrong during that time and I was just in a very dark place. And then Joshua Scales, actually, shout out again to Joshua Scales. I started going through his Facebook friends because he's Facebook friends with like a lot of higher up people
Yes, yeah.
in the Christian music industry. So I went through and I started friending a bunch of people on there. And one of them was Jonathan Goodwin, who's the CEO of the record label. And he happened to watch, because I had some videos on my Facebook and my YouTube and all that. And he happened to watch some of the videos and offered me a record deal. He called, he messaged me, and then I gave him my phone number and he called me and he's like, so I met with the board. We'd like to offer you this really good deal. And so when that happened, I had to like mute my phone and I was home by myself and I was like screaming, just screaming. I was like, this is it. And I looked up to the ceiling. I was like, thank you, Lord. This is what I've been waiting for. I was just so grateful to God. I was like, in the way that everything happened and the timing of everything, like I know for a fact, like I was not the one that made that happen. I truly firmly believe that God was the one who set all of this into motion, and he's the reason why I am where I am. And but it was super exciting. Like once I got that phone call, I was like, I've made it. I've done it. So but this is I've been waiting to go down and record for a minute now. So I'm excited. Like it's getting down to it. I think I'm going down in like a couple weeks here is when we're gonna start recording. So I'm excited. We've got a bunch of pictures taken already. That one was really cool when I was able to go out and get like pictures taken and do photo shoots for like, the promos and like the album cover and all of that. That was when it kind of started to sink in. I was like, this is happening. And then it sunk in even more when one of my friends who's also in my band, he's my pianist, he's a super talented producer and he has like a little recording studio set up in his house. And so I would go over there and try to record some of the songs ahead of time so that I know what I'm doing when I get down there and I don't just show up and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So it's been nice, but whenever I was recording some of the songs ahead of time, I was like, this is it. This is what it's going to be like. This is happening. And so it's just getting more and more real, and I'm getting more and more exciting, or more and more excited and a little bit more nervous every single day, but
Well, is there one thing that you would tell somebody in terms of advice for someone who was in a dark space like you were, and then when that opportunity came, you were able to take it? Any words of advice for them?
yeah, definitely. Like I said before, I definitely would advise to have a support system, like people that are actually going to be encouraging and they're not, gonna tell you, no, you shouldn't do this. Like you want to surround yourself with positive people um, who will remind you who you are and what you're capable of doing. Like I had, like that's super important. That's like one of my big things. Um, like I said, had I not had my husband and my mom, I would have given up like a long time ago. And another thing is just not to fear rejection or failure because that was my big thing, is like I had this whole thing, like I was so insecure about myself. I mean, still from time to time I will struggle. Like there's like, I think last night even I was like freaking out because like I said, it's starting to get down to the wire. I'm about to be going down to Nashville here soon, and I was freaking out last night even, like I don't think I can do this. I don't think I'm good enough. What if I show up and I start singing and he's like, you don't sound like you did in the video. And so I start to panic, and it's like that's why I said it's super important to just not fear rejection or fear failure, and don't give up when doors are slammed in your face. Like if I would have given up the times that stuff happened at different churches or different events that I've been to, I wouldn't be where I am now. Like if I would have let any of that get to me. So you have to just kind of grow a thick skin, quite honestly. And there might be like hundreds of doors that are slammed in your face, but you just need that one. You just need that one breakthrough. So I would just advise, be patient, be strong, and surround yourself with the right people to encourage you and love you every step of the way.
Right. And then lastly, is it anybody that you specifically want to shout out before we get your tags here so that people can follow you?
I would like to shout out once again Joshua Scales. We've plugged him a lot, but He's awesome. He's a big reason. Without him, I probably wouldn't have found, the head of the label that I'm with now.
Oh yeah.
He's given me lots of new clients. Like when I've done stuff for him, he's given me a lot of clients for my web and graphic design stuff. So he's awesome. I love you, Joshua. I'm gonna shout out my husband for driving me here today. Shout out my mom. Love you, mom. Thank you for being very encouraging and calming me down before I got here today, because I'm not very good with speaking usually. And then all my friends and my family out there that also are listening to this, y'all know who you are. Hello. But yeah.
All right, and for the people who don't know you and don't already follow you, tell them how they can follow you.
Okay, so for my singing and all that different stuff, my Instagram is Makayla, mikayla.ccm. Twitter is Makayla_CCM, and Facebook is Makayla in all caps. And then as far as my design and advertising, the easiest way to find me for that is on Instagram, and it's apex, apex.adagency. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll have those tags in the descriptions below. So if you didn't get that, you'll get it there. Copy and please follow. Also, Makayla, we appreciate you for being here. We appreciate the husband for bringing her and the mom for calming her down. Good job. See, Mom, I'm going to call you after I get done with this show, and I'm going to just talk to you about how you never calm me down. So we're going to have that conversation, Mama, but I still love you. All right. Thank you, Makayla. Good luck with everything, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you again for tuning in to the Link Podcast, the 9th edition, Fear and Opportunity. Stay tuned for episode 10. Go to thelinkentllc.com for all exclusive content. Also search the Link ENT LLC for all social media platforms. Like, share, listen, and subscribe. Go ahead and leave a review. Positive reviews necessary. Thank you again for Makayla coming on. All of her social media sites will be in the description below, so like, share, and subscribe her content, the music, and the graphic design. Shout out again to Josh Scales. Again, we appreciate you and everything you do. Thank you for introducing us to Makayla. For anyone else who wants to get on the podcast, please shoot me a message. You can give us a call, 330-687-7964. Texts are accepted. You can also DM us on any of our social media platforms. Again, like, share, subscribe, listen, tell a friend. And as always, we like to link you with those doing great things around you. This is your host, Siege, and until next time.